Well, well, well. It definitely seems like My Hero Academia is definitely different. It's definitely darker. It's definitely crazy. Lo and behold, wow, what a chapter of revelations here. We finally get to see that the Hero Safety Commission wasn't so goody two shoes, like the public knows. Wow. Now we understand why Lady Nagant turned into a villain or went bad or went rogue. Anyways, hey guys, it's Cam for 15. Back at it with another video for you guys, and we're back with another My Hero Academia manga chapter review for you guys. And man, again, like I said, to start off this monologue, what a chapter. Just going into the backstory of the whole Lady Nagant stuff, and then how like devious and how like horrible the Hero Safety Commission is. Again, we know, I've said this thousands of times on the channel, whether you watch my anime reviews or my manga chapter reviews. Deku says he's going to be essentially the world's greatest hero. You know, we're going to see how, because he's not only going to stop Shigaraki and All For One, this kid is going to literally reform hero society as we know it. You know, where what we see by the Hero Safety Commission, they might not end up doing ever again, and stuff like that. So let's get into this chapter. Now, I did read the unofficial chapter. I just didn't do a review on it. Guess I'm kind of somewhat going back to doing chapter reviews when the official chapters come out to give me stress. And technically tomorrow or yesterday, I didn't want to upload or make a video because I had like boatloads of videos I had to upload. But anyways, we're here with My Hero Academia chapter 314 titled The Lovely Lady Nagant, which shockingly enough, that actually stayed there from the unofficial the unofficial translations. Now last time in the last chapter we saw Deku, you know, going against Lady Nagant in his struggle. He, funny enough, the week before, if you saw this week's episode of My Hero Academia, he finally revealed his new quirk, the third user's quirk. And funny enough, like I said yesterday, he showed off Blackwood, which was a great episode. But he managed to trick Lady Nagant, and he got a hold of her. Now we start this chapter off in that same position where we last left off. And Deku goes on to say, my smoke screen won't spread very far in the rain, so she should be able to instantly react to my scattered decoys. She took the bait, and now I got her. Now Lady Nagant is like, he's faster than I thought he was, and, you know, of what he was doing, and the fact that, you know, she was wondering, like, what was he doing in that smoke? Now Deku's like, the best way to handle a sniper is to get close. And he's asking Lady Nagant, now listen, tell me everything you know about Shigaraki and All For One. And essentially, Lady Nagant, she retracts her arm, she's like, you think you won, didn't you? And she's like, I'm not going to give you anything. So then she ends up shooting Deku by retracting her arm and stuff like that. And essentially she's like, listen, kid, you're good, but you're not good enough. The Hero Safety Commission taught me everything I know and everything I know to handle any certain combat situations. So essentially, she's not like a regular sniper would be, where they would only be trained in long distance shooting, where they're not good in close-to-close hand-to-hand combat. Here, she was trained. Now, Deku manages, even though he gets hit, he manages to get out of there and stuff like that. And then that's when Deku's like, why would you work for All For One then? And, you know, Lady Nagant, he's like, you know, he's plotting to take over everything, so why? Like, you used to be a hero. Deku's just pleading, like, why are you doing this? Why? Why work for All For One? Like, really? And Lady Nagant is like, all you're seeing is that phony sense of order they manufactured. No wonder people teamed by it can't understand the truth. And Deku's like, what the hell are you talking about her? But at the same time, Deku's also thinking, he's like, damn it, I had her right where I wanted her, but the third was right. My parallel quirk processes are all screwed up. again, from what the third told him, like, yada, yada, yadas. You're still not ready yet. A little bit. Now, we see Deku just start, dodging all these bullets that she's firing at him. And, he's managing to get out the way and trying to dodge all these bullets and stuff like that. And it's crazy. One of the bullets is kind of like a radio type of bullet where she's talking to Deku mid thing. And she goes on to say, I was exhausted after so much killing, and it was all to preserve our sham society. She goes on to say there was a group plotting acts of terrorism against heroes. When you have people like that, when you have people like that, people capable of shaking the bedrock of our society, are a hero team colluding with a gang of villains while gaining fame and fortune. Law and order won't cut it. They have to disappear along with their crimes. Essentially saying, like, so look at it. If there was these freaking heroes working with these villains and stuff like that, and they're plotting group acts of terrorism, they should be brought in. If they get captured by law enforcement, they should be brought in and they should be tried, which we'll get into the backstory here. And the thing is, she goes on to say, even in that last speech I said, like, when she said, but instead of that case, guess what? They didn't get turned in. They didn't serve their time. They didn't, have a right to a trial. Holy crap, man. They had to disappear, an AKA, in order to die. And she goes on to say, like, the Safety Commission gave me those classified missions. This is when we get her backstory of what she did and how she eventually turned into a villain. She goes on to say, once upon a time, vigilantes played the role of heroes and won the people's hold on. I can't say this crap. My God, I never read this from the chapter. Okay. Once upon a time, vigilantes played the role of the heroes and won the people's trust. In turn, the country made sure they kept doing their part. She goes on to say, at the end of the day, trust in heroes is the foundation of a superpowered society. And me, I was a cog set in place to keep that system running smooth. A system with two sides to it, a front and a back, and stuff like that. Now, this is when we see Lady Nagant confronting, I'm guessing it's like these vigilantes, where they were plotting to do something to shake up the entire society and make a big ruckus going on. And you just have this vigilante essentially just like, yo, I didn't do anything. We didn't do anything. We haven't done anything yet. Like, we only started just talking about it. And we see the next panel. Lady Nagant takes this guy out, or takes this entire person out, and she's just covered in blood. Just covered in blood. So one, this already goes to show you how dark this chapter was and how dark this story has gotten. Again, it's funny because when I see the anime onlys talk about like how cool My Hero Academia is, I'm like, or how right now, how people who watch the current season of My Hero Academia, how they're not into it. I'm like, oh, you're not into it? Well, guess what? If you're not going to be into it, I hope you just like don't say a thing. I hope going forward, and this is my whole thing about season 5, people, and I'll say that in my season 5 reviews. If you're really gonna hate the freaking season because it's not interesting, to me it's interesting. Like I said, the Class 1A versus Class 1B arc isn't my favorite arc, but I still like it. It's still interesting. But I find people saying, it's not my cup of tea. I'm like, they shouldn't even have the right to be able to say, oh shit, the freaking My Villain Academia arc is gonna be crazy good. And they just don't know what they're gonna be getting out of here. Now, she goes on to say, a system that needed both sides to maintain itself. So I obeyed, I complied, I did my duty. And essentially in these panels on the manga, in the manga chapter, you just see her just taking out people that the Hero Safety Commission told her to look, we need you to take this person out, go do it. And she was just in utter bloodshed and just creating havoc, just killing people and stuff like that. Then you cut over to a day where she's just like walking, and some of these little kids are like, hey, Lady Nagant, can we have a handshake really, please? And then Lady Nagant's like, sure, yeah, you can have a handshake. And then that's when, as she's pointing her hand out, she looks at it and she sees how much blood she has on her hands. And she just retracts it like, what the hell? And this was kind of made her go insane of the fact, like, I'm killing people and these kids look up to me. Like, I'm somebody to, follow, lead as an example. But I know I'm doing these unjust worthy things, so how can I consider myself to be a true hero? And stuff like that. She goes on to say, a system so fragile it made my head spin. I was exhausted. And she's just chilling in her, and I'm guessing her condo area, and she's just looks like utter depressed and everything. She's like, what the hell am I doing? Like, this is just a scam. This is not what being a hero is about. So then Lady Nagant confronts the commissioner of the Hero Safety Public Commission, and essentially the commissioner's like, look, there's these two people that have been inciting ordinary civilians to commit crimes before hunting them down, to turn them into criminals and then turn them in so they can get the rewards. Essentially saying, oh, there's these heroes making these civilians do this stuff, and they're going to try to get the reward of the benefits so they can improve their stock and everything. But because of it, I need you to go taking them out and stuff like that. And that's when Lady Nagant tells the commissioner, like, is killing them really going to improve society? And she's like, making people believe everything's puppies and rainbows are I don't like. Now looking at this is my first time reading the official. I don't like the translation. Essentially, she's saying like making the public look like society's good when really there's a dark side to this. I don't think it's healthy, and I don't think it's good. Like, is this are we doing things any better than what villains are doing? Like, this is literally brainwashing people here. And the commissioner's like, Nagant, we have to do this. This is all necessary to preserve hope and faith that the front-facing heroes have built up. Essentially, he's saying, look, the more public, well-known heroes, they can't do this stuff. That's why we got you undercover and stuff like that. So you just got to do what you got to tell us to do. And that's when Nagant's like, preserve. And after that, what's going to happen then? And that's when the commissioner's like, he starts digging in his, obviously his tux, and it looks like he's about to pull something out. Probably a gun to potentially kill her and stuff like that, because she's like, he's probably thinking like, it seems like she's gonna leave. Well, you gotta tie up loose ends, we gotta kill her. And he's like, I'm sure you're quite aware that this job isn't a job you can simply walk away from. And that's when she's like, President. And she's now, in the unofficial translation, she said, I respect you. In the official translation, she said, you're a strong one. Personally, I like the unofficial translations. I'm not typically high on like, oh, what translations I good God, I like more than the other. It is what it is, And essentially, we find out here that Lady Nagant killed the president of the Public Safety Commission and stuff like that. And that's a shock to Deku. And he's like, you killed the president of the Safety Commission at the time? And Deku's like, but that never made the news. Like they said, they claimed you killed another hero during an argument and stuff like that. And even Deku makes a point saying like, on the news, they never reported the president to die like that. And Nagant's like, yep, even then the Safety Commission kept up had to keep up the illusion. Internal disputes, mutiny, no way, that wasn't for the public to know. You really are ignorant to that, huh? This superpowered society is a gilded daydream seen through rose-colored glasses, but it's paper thin, a fragile illusion. Say you bring back the status quo then. then what? Essentially saying like, you want to bring this stuff back? Like, it's just gonna be rinse and repeat all over again. Why would you want it back? Even I'm telling you all this. Why do you want it back? And she even makes the comment like the next panel's like history will just repeat itself, and we see a young Lady Nagant being told by like the Public Safety Commission, hey, you can do this. You want to be a hero? Here you go. Honestly, similar to Hawks, because we know the Safety Commission made Hawks freaking go essentially join the League of Villains and stuff like that. Now we know Hawks killed twice, but he had to do that because guess what? Things would go from bad to worse if he didn't do that. So in that case, Hawks was in the right of doing that. Lady Nagant, she was in the right because these people are telling her like, yo, kill this dude. Kill this like hero trying to pretend to be a hero or something like that. And Nagant's just like, why don't we just bring these guys in and they just serve, time to essentially be reprimanded for their actions, to know that they can't do this again. Otherwise, this will not be tolerated. And, Nagant's like, the public needs to hear about this stuff. They can't, the public needs to know that not all heroes are really good. The public needs to know that heroes sometimes just don't do it for the best interest of people. They do it for themselves because they're selfish like that. And the Safety Commission, because they're selfish and they don't want to get that out because that would be a bad word on them, because then people would be like, wait, you're the Public Safety Commission. You run the whole hero operation here. What are you guys doing? Why are there heroes like that out here? And stuff like that. And she goes on, and Lady Nagant goes on to mention in the chapter, it's like the public gets to stargaze to the bright and shiny side, while the dark truth nods at someone else. And again, like I said, in the same panel, we see just a young Lady Nagant look really excited to be a hero and stuff like that. And Lady Nagant goes on to say, at least a future ruled over by all for one will be a hell of a lot more transparent. Essentially saying, listen, at least things are going to be more out there if all for one ruled the freaking stuff. And that's when Deku's like, you're over there. So then that's when Deku uses his Black Whip quirk and he's like, pinpoint focus. And essentially he manages to stick his Black Whip to a wall, and it starts to retract him like a grappling hook, and he's coming at Lady Nagant and stuff like that. Now Lady Nagant's like, this kid analyzed my freaking moves based on my trajectories, on my shot trajectories, and stuff like that. And Deku replies to her after her statement. He's like, maybe I was ignorant, but I'm starting to see things clearly. It's not all black and white. Most of the things in this world are shades of gray, a blend of fear and anger. Swept their pain under the rug with maggots crawling out. And that's when Deku goes on to say, like, which is exactly why I've got to extend a helping hand. Essentially, we know Deku is a character, a hero that wants to save everybody, just not one person. He wants to save everybody he possibly can and stuff like that. And again, I like the fact that Deku's now learning more of the dark side of hero society. And I do like the fact that he accepts the fact, like, look, now I'm seeing not everything's black and white. I'm seeing that there's a lot of shades of gray. There are a lot of gray areas in this whole operation, and stuff like that. But I feel like if I can lend a helping hand, I feel like I can create a change for society to be better and stuff like that. And Lady Nagant replies to that statement saying that phony education's done wonders for you. I believe, this Lady Nagant. Now, Lady Nagant's like, even in mid-air, he dodged to protect his joints from taking damage. He's focused on reading my patterns and evading. And then the chapter ends off where she's like, fine, then how about this? One more thing to think about. And it's looking like she's pointing, her gun at Overhaul, Chisaki, and Overhaul's like, hey, are you done yet? I just want to see the old boss again, please and thank you. And Deku's like, Chisaki? And that's where the chapter ends off. I'm thinking what is going on is Lady Nagant pointing her gun at Overhaul, and she's going to make Deku make a choice. Save Overhaul or stop me. Honestly, like the damn Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi, the very first Spider-Man movie, back I think in 04 or no 02, when Green Goblin's like, you can either save your little girlfriend over here, Mary Jane, or you can save the precious little kids in the nice little trolley and stuff like that. Kind of that whole aspect there. Next chapter is gonna hit next week, June 6th. So there's been no breaks. It's insane that we haven't got like at least a week break. So Horikochi's killing it. As I'm giving my ending thoughts, it's really interesting to see more the fact that we already knew Hero Society was pretty corrupt, but the fact that we saw that Hero Society from the Public Safety Commission was this corrupt, where they're actively have some heroes stationed to be like, hey, we need you to take this person out because he could leak out some information that we don't want to go out there, or he's just doing something that he shouldn't be doing. And guess what? We need you to just kill him, instead of say, no, just bring him in, take him down so we can put him on trial and then he can go to prison and stuff like that. No, these people were like, no, kill them. Make sure they're erased from existence. And if things go wrong, they just cover things up, like the president's death. They just say, oh, Lady Nagant killed some hero in a dispute, and just saying, oh, Lady Nagant killed the president because guess what? We're not doing so many good things here in the Safety Commission. We're killing innocent people. Well, not innocent people, but we're killing people that should actually be tried in court and should go through the law, go through the process of law and getting arrested and stuff like that, and eventually serving time in prison. No, we're just killing people willy-nilly, and we're telling heroes to do that. And it's crazy to see that they have more of their undercover like heroes do this, but they had like heroes at the time like an All Might and Endeavor. The more heroes that are more public out there, they don't do that stuff. And it goes to show you, like, this crap was going on during the time of All Might, when he was the symbol of peace and everything. And it's crazy to see that, the Hero Society, like, it definitely needs to, like, change. It definitely needs to be a thing. And that's why I feel like this new generation of heroes, starting with Deku, is going to create that change where, guess what? There ain't going to be situations like Lady Nagant saw, where, you want someone to be a hero, you're going to have to abide by these things. Like, this is what it means to be a hero. And stuff like that. And that's why, again, I said it at the start of the video, I'm gonna say it again, this is why Deku's going to be the greatest hero the world's ever seen, because he's not only to take down probably the most dangerous threat in all of existence in this time in the history of My Hero Academia, the All for One and Shigaraki, but he's also gonna essentially, take down the Hero Safety Commission and call them out on their BS, saying, no, this isn't right. This is how you need to be a hero. He's going to reform. He's literally going to reform Hero Society, where people are like, that's the ideal way to be a hero, not what we saw in the past. And I feel like it's going to be just like in terms of One Piece, when eventually they find out when the world finally finds out about the whole history of the Void Century and what the world government did. I feel like the same thing's going to happen in My Hero Academia. Eventually, this Public Safety Commission is going to come out and be like, hey, this is what these guys did in the past. And, that's when Deku's going to be like, but this is what we're going to do differently. We're going to truly become what heroes are supposed to be about, and that's saving everyone. That's making people serve time if they do something wrong. We're not just going to kill them unless, by God, there's no other option to do that. We're going to uphold the law, essentially. And again, it's just it was a really good chapter. It was a crazy chapter to see how dark, how despicable Hero Society really was, and how this really did need to get destroyed so then it can be reformed and be made better. And again, it starts to show you, like, you got to take these old head peoples out and put in new people who are willing to understand that, no, we can't do things like we used to do and stuff like that. And I wonder too, if Lady Nagant switches sides, maybe in this reformed Hero Society by the end of the story, maybe what if she ends up being the president of the new reformed Safety Commission, where she wants to uphold the law and be like, no, these people need to be tried. We just can't kill them. and stuff like that. It'd be very interesting if they go that way. But again, that's like I said, if Nagant turns out to be good or tends to switch sides, which is a possibility. But hell, she said earlier in this chapter she's fine with living in an all-for-one dominated world. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see where the story goes. It's going to be interesting to see what Shisaki does. I can't wait to see what Deku does. I wonder if, Deku and Shisaki will have an interaction and stuff like that. So it's going to be very interesting. Anyways, I'm going to have it, guys. If you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's manga chapter review for My Hero Academia. And hit the subscribe button if you want to get more My Hero Academia manga chapter reviews, as well as anime reviews for the anime of My Hero Academia. Anyways, guys, I'm going to catch you guys in the next video. Until then, guys, I'll see you guys later. Peace.